Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. Okay, so I thought I would start a new strand. I wanted to do just a sort of live daily news show, most days to be perfectly honest with you. Big news last night, breaking sort of 10:30, was that Joe Hart will be allowed to leave Manchester City for around about £20 million. Now, that's according to the Times. Hello, everybody. Oh, my God, the comments are coming up really, really fast. Okay, so I'm going to ignore the comments for just a little bit and we'll get back onto the comments at the end. So the Times are reporting that Joe Hart will be allowed to leave Manchester City at the summer. Obviously, he's on loan at Torino this season. His form's supposed to be really good at Torino. I've not watched a lot of it, or any of it, him at Torino, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But you know, the Liverpool goalkeeping situation is still sort of in the air with Simon Mignolet and Lloris Karius. Now, I personally think that one of them can make it. I'm talking about you, Lloris Karius. But the Mirror reporting that Liverpool, Arsenal and one other team could be interested in Joe Hart. So I kind of wanted to open it up to you guys, whether you think that Joe Hart would be a good signing for Liverpool or not, whether you trust that Lloris Karius could be the future number one at Liverpool. So it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, the news from the Times about Joe Hart is that, you know, they've said that he'll be allowed to leave to a top 6 Premier League side, and the reason that they've apparently said that that's okay is because they don't believe that anyone lower than the top 6 really will be able to afford the £20 million minimum that they want for Joe Hart. Abda Izza says Joe Hart would be lovely. What was that one there? Let me just go back up. Rory Grant, 20 million squid at his age, you're having a laugh. And Bibek Batteral, he has poor distribution. The Widder C, I'd happily take him. Yeah, Harto. It seems to be so far from the 205 people watching already? Wow. That it seems to be a little bit split. Toby Red says, I trust in Karius, but Hart would be nice. It's Brandon says, hi, Chris. Good option, but not suited to the style. What do you think, Chris? Yeah, it's a strange one. If he's not suited to Manchester City's style, and Pep Guardiola obviously wants a goalkeeper that has good distribution, then I can't see why he'd be 100% suited to our style, although a good goalkeeper he is. Look, goalkeepers make mistakes. He's made tons of mistakes over his career. Volume's super low. Oh, well, okay, I'll try and get a little bit closer then. Sucking egg, Chris. Nice one, Northwest game. So yeah, I can't really see that Liverpool would want Joe Hart. I think, you know, Jurgen Klopp trusts that Lloris Karius could be the man to move us forward. So it's one of them, isn't it? And then the other sort of news that came out last night is that Dejan Lovren has gone to see a knee specialist over in Germany, which is quite interesting because, you know, we spoke about it on our brand new podcast, actually. Oh, yes, little drop that in there. Paul and I are going to be doing a podcast every single week. The whole video is going to be going up as a subscriber exclusive, and that's going to be extended, but there is going to be a free version which is probably 60 minutes long that will be going out on SoundCloud today, this morning in fact. So that we spoke about Dejan Lovren and whether we thought that Dejan Lovren would be a long-term centre-back at Liverpool. One of the concerns with Dejan Lovren for me is, look, he makes some mistakes, he really does, you know, you can see that, but when he's playing well, he plays really well. If he was one of our 4 centre-backs, I think that would be absolutely fine, to be perfectly honest with you. But, you know, he does seem to take quite a lot of injuries, which is a little bit of a concern, if I'm perfectly honest with you. You know, how many times he's been injured over the last sort of 2 years? There's been a few that I can count now, and, you know, obviously everyone gets ill and stuff, and he's had a little bit of illness, but ultimately for me, that destroyer centre-back, if you will, just needs to be better, to be honest with you. I think we probably do need a world-class centre-back to play alongside Joel Matip. I'm going to read through some of your comments right now, so I'm going to pick my phone up. Chris, future for Chan at Liverpool or playing for a move? That's an interesting one. Sorry, the comments come up. Callum Sanderson. That's quite an interesting one for me, to be perfectly honest with you, because, you know, Liverpool wouldn't normally let someone run to the last 18 months of their contract, would they? So it's a little bit strange that Chan obviously is now in the last 18 months, obviously we'll probably lose a little bit of value on him if we were to sell him in the summer. It's whether Emre Can is a first teamer, I think, to be honest with you. I'd personally like to see that midfield three of Jordan Henderson, Adam Lallana and Gini Wijnaldum. Now, Can has his merit. I don't think it's just one of the two playing in front of Jordan Henderson. I think he'd be better suited to be in that Jordan Henderson type of role, but I just don't think he's as good as Jordan Henderson. What a backup he could be, though. Chris, opinion on Origi, and that was the Mr. Monkey Gaming. I like Origi, to be honest with you. I think he'll be a great player at Liverpool. I really do. I think that, you know, he's still young, he's still learning his trade. Klopp has played with that type of big, strong striker. I mean, lots of people are talking, and myself, I think that Aubameyang would be a great fit for Liverpool. Class centre forward, of course, he'd be a great fit. It's whether we could get him, isn't it? But you know, when you look at the style of striker that Lewandowski was for Dortmund, then you can see that Klopp can play with that big man, and he was obviously interested in Christian Benteke before he actually got to play with him last year and stuff. So it's a little bit of an interesting one on Origi. I think that, you know, we should definitely give him time, much like we should give Lloris Karius time, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Here's an interesting one. Hot topic: could Joe Gomez step up so we don't need a new left back, centre back? Yes, I think Joe Gomez could be a future centre back at Liverpool Football Club. Although I said exactly the same thing about Andre Wisdom. And that didn't work out, did it? In fact, I think I said that potentially he could be a future Liverpool captain. So what the hell do I know? Do you know what I mean? Sniffman, when is the podcast up? That'll be going up this morning, probably around when everyone else gets here, which is about 9:30. I think I get in about an hour before them, to be honest. That's why I kind of wanted to do this live show. I'm just a little bit bored, and I'm a little bit lonely, and I like talking to you guys, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to pick the phone up again, but someone asked me thoughts on signing Peter Crouch again. No, sorry, it was 10 years ago or something. Peter Crouch is done. Kevin Smith, Studge is gone already. Cocky562, I hate Lovren. Vastalvora, your views on Goethe. Goethe's an interesting one, isn't it? Because, you know, those rumours seem to be ramping up slightly over the last, it was probably 2 days ago now when we're supposed to be interested in Mario Goethe and stuff. I think the problem with Goethe at the minute is he's having a little bit of trouble with his weight and stuff, isn't he? And his professionalism is being called into question because of that. So, yeah, I personally think Klopp can turn Goethe around and we could have a really good player there. I think we're going to move to 4-2-3-1 over the next year or so anyway. I think Roberto Firmino's going to drop back probably into that 10 position. We're going to look to sign a proper striker, and then we'll have Adam Lallana or Sadio Mane, Phil Coutinho and Roberto Firmino in a 3 behind that 1. And then it's about picking up players who can supplement that. If we're in the Champions League, we're going to need 6 players if we've got those 3. So do you know what I mean? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. That's 8 minutes. I didn't believe I was going to do the 8 minutes. What's the name of your podcast? I can't find it. It's not up yet. It'll be on SoundCloud. We'll put a link out on Twitter. As I say, it'll be around about 9:30, 10 o'clock. We're going to call it the Redmen TV podcast, the Liverpool FC, something about that. We've not fully decided yet. Not done a thumbnail. That's why it's not up yet, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow on Liverpool News Live.